Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register. And earlier today, you heard from Chris Childress from Register Real Estate Advisors as he talked about the contract to close process for a realtor, that the realtor's going through behind the scenes for you to keep everything on track. And this segment, we are talking with Mary Papageorge over at AmCap Mortgage. You've heard from Mary before. And you can find Mary if you go to the HoustonRealEstateRadio.com website. You can find Mary right there. Click on her ad, takes you right to the pre-approval page so that you can get same-day pre-approval if you're looking to purchase a home. So, Mary, we want to talk about behind the scenes. We're also going to talk a little bit about the warranty process and the inspections behind the scenes. The inspections lead into some repairs usually that have to be finished before closing. And then, of course, the title company has quite a bit of a process behind the scenes. Nobody really knows what happens to the title company. It's kind of a mystery. They just call you when they're ready.
Exactly.
So the lender is real similar, except the lender keeps asking you for stuff along the way. Can you send me this? Can you send me this?
And I need this. Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about that behind the scenes process for a mortgage that a lot of people don't understand. They don't know what we're waiting on for 3 weeks. You know, well, you've got the contract, you've figured out what's wrong with the house, any needed repairs have been negotiated, and now they're just in a holding pattern, and they don't necessarily know what's going on behind the scenes. So let's talk about that.
Sure. So basically, once they have been pre-qualified, they're under contract, we send out loan disclosures. That's part of the process. We can't even submit the loan to set up until those loan disclosures are signed. We have to have W-2s, paycheck stubs, 30 days, tax returns for the last 2 years, as well as 2 months of bank statements, driver's license, social. Once we have all of that information, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, then it gets set to setup. Setup is the person that actually pulls the title. They want to make sure there's no outstanding liens. That can take about a week or two. Depends on the title company.
So they're researching the property and the people.
Exactly. Researching more the property and the people that are selling the home to make sure that they're going to provide a clear title.
Okay.
That's the main objective of that. Once we have everything in the file that we need for an underwriter to actually make a decision, then it goes to the processor. The processor scripts the file again, making sure that, oh, wait a minute, you have a deposit here that's over $499. We have to prove where that came from. So we have to document that. That's sourcing. There could be another, we need to order an appraisal. We need a survey. We need insurance. There's all sorts of moving parts in a loan. So once the processor has gathered all of her information that we need, then she'll submit it to the underwriter.
And I think the processor is the one probably that gets the most phone calls because the first week or two after you go under contract, people aren't so antsy. They know people are got jobs to do and they're leaving them alone. But come that third week when the processor's got it, boy, they're making phone calls going,
Yes,
okay, where are we? What's next? You know?
That's exactly right. Now, we actually have a new app, which is really cool. You can get it at the Play Store and you can get it at the App Store. It's called AmCap. AMCAP, and you won't have to make phone calls anymore because you'll be informed the entire process.
Very cool.
It'll actually send you alerts to your phone. It'll tell you, hey, it's been sent to setup. Hey, it's been sent to processing. The appraisal's been ordered. Title's been ordered. It'll tell you all of that. Cool. And it also said when it's been sent to underwriting. The underwriter's the unknown person behind a desk that makes that credit decision.
It's like the Oz in the Wizard of Oz.
Exactly, behind that curtain. But that's the person we want to make happy. So sometimes we write a letter to give them the warm and fuzzy, tell them that, we've had some bad situations in the past, but, it's behind us now and we're back on track. And sometimes those letters can make a big difference. So once the underwriter has reviewed the file, then she's going to approve the loan with conditions.
Now, who does the underwriter work for? Does the underwriter work for the lender who works for shareholders, or does the underwriter work for the secondary market to make sure that loan is going to be able to be sold on the secondary market?
Both, actually.
Okay.
Although I think we're privately held, so we're not. We don't have stockholders or anything like that. We do have a partnership, I believe. So when the underwriter gets the file, she reviews the file, makes sure that she has everything that's needed to make a credit decision. So at that point, she may say, you're approved with conditions, but my conditions are, wait, we don't have an appraisal. Or we have, some deposits in the bank statements we need to verify. Or I even had recently where someone was writing a check 3 months of pay stubs, or not, excuse me, 3 months of bank statements, and there were some checks that had cleared the bank that were to another source that we did not have on the credit. So that raised another flag saying, oh, well, they have another debt that we didn't count. And so we had to get an explanation from my customer to advise what was this check for. As it turned out, it was a washer, dryer, and some furniture.
Uh-oh.
Was not aware of that up front. So
Red flag.
Yeah, red flag, because it can affect your debt to income ratio, and that could put you over.
And I think a lot of home buyers get upset because they have all these documentation they have to get over to the lender, and then they figure, it's my money. If I want to transfer it from one account to another, I should be able to do that. If I want to pay off a debt to get ready to buy a house, I should be able to do that. But the fact is, everything you do from the time you sign that contract to buy a house until the day, the minute you close, is under severe scrutiny, and you really can't do anything out of the ordinary during that time frame.
We highly recommend that you don't, unless you clear it with your your loan officer first. Speaking of transfers, that would be a condition. Like, for example, you gave us a checking account, but you transferred money from a savings that you didn't bother to send to us. We have to know where the money comes from. It's all about the paper trail. And unfortunately, it's for those people who have been bad things in the past that have created these problems for all of us good people, where they have to document where did the money come from because of drug trafficking, money laundering, that sort of thing. So any transfers from one account to another, we have to see where that account came from. If you're dealing with gift money, you're going to get a gift from a relative. That relative has to be willing to provide us with the bank statement showing they had the money to give. We have to get a copy of the check that goes into their account for the buyer. We have to see that money cleared. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to a loan, and literally 55 people from beginning to end touch your loan. And
I hear a lot of people really complaining about the lender or the loan officer because of what they're asking for, and they keep telling me, but I've sent them the same thing over and over and over. And the difference is maybe they took a screenshot of their bank account.
That's exactly
and
right.
then the next time they actually sent the paper version that came in the mail or actually printed out the account. Why does it matter, Mary? And apparently it does matter. What's the difference between a screenshot of the account online and printout of the account online?
Well, normally
why is that a big deal?
We have to have a bank statement to go off of in the beginning, because when you get a printout, it has the last four digits of the social, or not, excuse me, the last four digits of the account number. It may not necessarily have the person's name on it. So if it doesn't have something to tie it, and it may not even have the bank information on it. So you've got to have at least the first bank statement to go off of. If you get a printout, it has to have a running balance, and we have to see those last four digits of that account match the bank statement that we already have, or we can't prove where it comes from.
Yeah, and consumers, I think, they get frustrated because all they keep hearing is, I need the bank statement, and all they want to say is, but I already sent it. And so just that miscommunication, just clarifying for them, what it is you're looking for, what you need, I think is so important. There's just so much going on behind the scenes.
Oh, yes.
And so much.
And sometimes people send us things that they think is what we're asking for. And then when we look it over and we're like, no, this isn't what I asked. This is what I need. And we get very detailed, which is frustrating. I get that. But sometimes they send something that we think we need, but in actuality, it's not what we asked for at all. So just bear with us. We're work for you. We're trying to get you through the process as quickly as possible. And the faster you can send us that information, the faster we can get to that closing table.
I think that's the key. Don't ask why. Just send what they want when they want it.
Exactly.
Don't send more. Don't send less. Send exactly what they want.
Exactly. Makes a big difference.
So, Mary, you've been with AMCAP a long time, AMCAP Mortgage here in Houston, and you've done a lot of loans. I know you do a lot of loans for our buyers. You can do a loan turnaround on a pre-approval for a buyer pretty quickly.
Usually within 24 hours if they give us everything we requested.
What's your website?
It is thetexasmortgagepros.com.
All right, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes when you get a mortgage, and Mary does a great job with that. Mary, I think it's so important, especially for first-time home buyers, to know that process that's going on behind the scenes. You talked about the underwriter, and then them coming out with conditions, and then once those conditions are met, what's the last step?
Well, the processor gathers all the conditions. She confirms that what we have requested is what we've been provided. She will resubmit the loan back to the underwriter, And usually within 24 hours, the underwriter will clear that loan, and we have a clear to close. And about 5 days later, with the new TRID rules, we are at the closing table.
All right. We appreciate you coming on, Mary Papageorge with AMCAP Mortgage. Give us the website one last time in case somebody wants to buy a house. It's a great time of year to do that.
It is thetexasmortgagepros.com, and my cell, 713-569-0025. It's the best way to reach me.
And if you've got a question for Mary, you can call our 24/7 answer line here at Houston Real Estate Radio at 844-788-9444. 844-788-9444. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors here on Houston Real Estate Radio.
Imagine you and your family return from a tropical vacation to find that one of your pipes burst, flooding your entire house. Are you fully covered? Will you only receive $100 for your TV that cost you $2,000 just 2 years ago? Will your insurance company pay for you to live in a hotel while your home is being repaired? What if on that same trip you lose your wedding ring? Will your home insurance coverage replace that as well? All insurance policies are not created equal. If you don't know the answer to these questions, you're not alone. Most people don't understand the gaps in their coverage until it's too late. Call Goosehead Insurance today and let one of our agents review your current policy to ensure that you are fully covered. At Goosehead Insurance, we understand the power of choice. Instead of working for a single insurance company, our agents have access to over 20 A-rated carriers. This allows us to craft a policy to fit your particular lifestyle, budget, and needs. It also enables us to reshop your policy in the future, if necessary, saving you time and money. No need to look for another agent. At Goosehead, we've got you covered. Our agents will walk you through each policy decision so that you have the coverage you need. If that's not reason enough, talk to one of our happy clients. Our client satisfaction scores are 3 times the industry average. To experience the Goosehead Insurance difference, visit us online at goosehead.com or call us at 800-474-1377.